Hi, I'm Maddie. I'm Vintage Spice here on YouTube, and today I'm going to be filming a What Sold video for October 24th through 27th. And this week I sold almost only on eBay and Depop, but I did have one Mercari sale as well. And these aren't all the items that I sold, but I thought these were the most interesting or educational ones to share. And I got a lot of new subscribers recently, and I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. And if you could leave a like or a comment, that would mean a lot to me. But I'm so happy that you guys are all here with me. So thank you. And in my last What Sold video, I talked about how I had a bunch of ephemera that I've been putting off listing for literal months. And 2 nights ago, I finally was like, okay, I'm going to take a break from what I usually list, which is like toys and especially vintage toys and dollhouse stuff. And I was like, okay, I just need to list some of this ephemera. And I did. And actually, I've already sold 2 things. So I'm really glad that I started listing the ephemera. And some of the stuff I wasn't really sure about value. So I did, I know BOLO Buddies has a method that she likes to do of if you're unsure if you have something special, you start an auction. I started some of the auctions high, and I'm just trying to see what will happen. But if I get no bids, I'll just start it to buy it now, which is totally fine with me. But I decided to implement her way of starting auction styles, stuff like that. So yeah, let's just get started. Okay. The first thing I wanted to share with you guys is this amazing artisan dollhouse miniature. That's obviously a penny in the photo, and this item is just so tiny, and I have no idea how someone handcrafted this, and they're just super talented. But it's a Beatrix Potter figure, and it's just so small, so detailed. I just am amazed that someone handcrafted this by themselves. But I took a best offer of $47 for this, and they were all in for $61.90 for just this tiny figure. And this is exactly why I like to include how much the buyer was all in for, because they just paid $61 for just this tiny little thing. And the next item is also dollhouse stuff. Oh, I forgot to say, for the Beatrix Potter figure, I think I had around $8 into that. And this is a lot of 3 dollhouse photos for the wall, and they go to the Mark's Imagination dollhouse from 1968. And I put read in the title because these were in really bad condition, especially the backs had a bunch of glue and stuff from being hung up before. But these sold for the full sale price of $26.67, and the buyer was all in for $35.44 for these 3 things. And I paid around $2 for these in a lot. Next is another artisan dollhouse miniature. It is this wicker basket that I didn't know what it was at first, and I kind of listed it being like, I don't really know what this is, and a dollhouse person messaged me and told me like, hey, that's actually a fishing basket, which is really helpful. The dollhouse people on eBay are super nice, and they always help me out. And I had about $8 into this in a lot. I took a best offer of $36, and the buyer was all in for $46.31. Again, this item is really tiny. There's the penny in the photo, and then here it is up against a ruler. So very small item. Next is this plush. It is shaped like a blue truck, and I think it goes with a storybook. And it sold for the full sale price of $13.79, and the buyer was all in for $22.18. I had about $1.60 into this, and I got it at a consignment sale. Next is this gun trick-or-treat candy bag or Halloween sack, and it has this cute witch on it. I got it from the bins, and this is super light, so I probably paid less than $1 for this because my bins is 99 cents a pound for toys, and I think this counted as a toy. And the buyer paid the full sale price of $13.79, and they were all in for $20.40. And this sold right before Halloween, which makes sense. Next is a Mark's piece. I have about $2 into this in a lot, and this sold for the full asking price of $59.99. It sold so fast that my sale hadn't even kicked in yet. I think I literally listed this item and then fell asleep for like an hour, and I woke up and it had already sold, and it had sold to someone who has bought from me a lot, and I know that they watch my store for Mark's pieces that I list, so I'm sure they were just waiting for a notification that I listed a Mark's piece and then went to go buy it. But they were all in for $74.39 for just this little canoe. It is 5.5 inches long, and it goes to the Yogi Bear at Jellystone Park playset, which is one I just got, and I've been listing pieces from that for the past few days. And this is the first piece that sold from there. Next is this Barney sleeping bag. It's from 1992, and I honestly paid too much for this item. I probably shouldn't have gotten it, but I was at a church rummage sale and it was $2, and I took a best offer of $12 just to get some momentum in my store and get some sales coming in. And the buyer was all in for $23.04, but I probably would not pick this item up again unless I could get it for super, super cheap. Next is this Mary Kay eyeshadow, and this is definitely a bread and butter item. I took a best offer of $5, and the buyer was all in for $11.07. But I wanted to include this because I originally got this at Goodwill, and Goodwill had put out a huge box of Mary Kay items, and they're all discontinued. I think this style of Mary Kay item is from like 2011 to 2013. And I asked the people at Goodwill if they would kind of work with me on a deal if I were to buy all of it, and they were super happy to do that. And it ended up getting a really good deal. And this is one of the best purchases I've ever made at a Goodwill. I think I had like 50 cents into this, but some of the Mary Kay items sold for $40 to $50 because there was some of the face powder in there and lipsticks, and it just was a super good purchase. I'm really glad I bought that. And this lot has been paid for over many times, so definitely all profit. Next is my only Mercari sale I made over the week, and it is this plush from The Princess and the Frog. I've found that when I'm selling Disney items, the side characters do a lot better than the main characters. So, like, I didn't even know that there was an alligator in Princess and the Frog, but I'm pretty sure that's why it sold for higher because it's more of a side character. But it sold for the full asking price of $28, and the buyer paid shipping. Next are a few of my Depop sales from the week. The first is this really cute pair of earmuffs, and I saw this at a thrift store for $1, and at first I thought it was Sanrio. I don't know if that's how you say it, but the Hello Kitty brand, but it wasn't. It's just some cute pair of earmuffs. So I paid $1 for it, and the buyer paid the full asking price of $25, and they were all in for $31. Next is this pair of platform Skechers. Whenever I see shoes that are platform or chunky, I always pick them up if they're a good price for Depop because they sell really quickly on that platform. And I took a best offer of $40, and the buyer was all in for $53. And I got these at the bins. Shoes are a little bit more expensive than toys at my bins, so I think I paid $2 to $3 for these. Next is this graphic elephant sweatshirt, and if I can get graphic animal sweatshirts for a good deal, I'll usually pick them up for Depop. This sold really quickly for the full asking price of $20, and the buyer was all in for $29. Next is a grandpa sweater, which is one of my most popular items on Depop, and the buyer paid the full asking price of $28, which is more expensive than I usually price things on Depop. I was just kind of doing an experiment to see if I listed something for higher, if it would actually sell. So now I know that I can get more for my items than I was listing them for before. But the buyer was all in for $37 for this. And the last item is something that's been listed since last year, and it finally sold. The buyer paid the full asking price of $15, and they bundled this with another sweater, so they got free shipping. But I originally thought this would sell really quickly because it is plus size, it's pink, pastel, really cute, but it didn't sell for like an entire year. And yeah, that's all I have to share with you guys this week. But I really love filming these what sold videos, so I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying them too. If you had a favorite item, please comment. That would mean a lot. Or if you learned anything from this video, that'd be great too. But thank you for watching.